Yes, YouTube, welcome back to another video and thanks for joining me. So in today's video, we'll be opening this box, which contains some clown killifish, which are one of my favourite nano fish. So you want to know a little bit more about these fish and what we're going to be doing with them today, then make sure you don't go anywhere, because that's all coming up right after this. And welcome back. So we are going to be doing a species highlight video today on this. It's been a while since we've done a video like this. I think the last one might have been the black tiger darios, but we've been really busy with builds and I wanted to focus on some of these new fish that we've got in recently. Now I've always been hesitant to do this video just because it's really hard to capture pictures or videos of the clown killifish just because they're so small. But I've got a new lens recently, which is a 30mm macro lens, so we're going to see if we have better luck with that today, so hopefully that will work out. But there's a few things I need to do to the tank, and I've just fed the fish because I don't want them all to go for the new killifish as if they are food, and they've left load on the bottom, even though I've just had a water change. Probably did that the wrong way around, but ayo. So we've got a killifish in the tank. Well, not quite, but we've got them settling in now. I floated the bag in the tank just to bring the temperature in the bag up or down to match the temperature of the tank water. And this just avoids any problems with the fish settling in. There's no massive shock or differences in the temperature. Now this tank is running at about 23 degrees Celsius and I've got a Awase internal heater in there, which is actually in the filter because we're running a Awase Biomaster 250 on this, which is a thermo. And I'll leave a link down in the description for any of the equipment we're talking about today or any of the supplies if you want to go and check them out for yourself. Now we haven't long rescaped this tank. If you want to go and check that video out, I definitely recommend doing it, and I'll leave a link down in the description or a card up here or here. But at the time we added the Awase filter on there, as well as then we had originally 2 internal filters running on there to keep it going, and this tank used to be really heavily planted so it didn't need as much filtration. But the filter's been running for about 6 weeks now, so we can comfortably take the internal filters out, just leaving the canister filter on there because that should have built up enough beneficial bacteria. And also, you would have seen I got a glass lily pipe intake on this. I'm waiting for the outtake, which hasn't turned up yet. For the intake, I've added a blue sponge on it just to prevent any of the baby shrimp or tiny fish, because hopefully we might get some babies out of these and stop them going up the filter. So I've recently purchased this, I don't know if you can see, from one of my favourite places to buy online, which is Aquascaping, and I'll leave a link for their website down in the description below. Definitely recommend going to check them out. Really good to support these smaller starting businesses who keep our hobby alive at the end of the day. But if you also use the code JOHNS5 off, you'll also get 5% off your purchase as well, which any saving is welcome. So we've got them in the tank, they've been temperature acclimated and they're settling in quite well already, which is great news, hence why temperature acclimate them in the first place, just so there's no shock or sudden changes to their environment. Now, as I said, they've coloured up really nicely already and they are a decent size, and hopefully they'll settle in nicely with the floating plants at the top. There's areas where there's pretty much no current at all, but I think there's still some good circulation in the tank, so hopefully that'll be suitable for them. So for those who know nothing about these fish, they're called clown or rocket killifish. Now all you need to do is take one look at them and you'll probably understand why straight away. Now they're originally from West Africa and they tend to inhabit small, shallow, slow moving waters, generally soft waters from more decaying organics, and similar sort of environment to you'd expect from a betta fish to an extent, but obviously a completely different country. Now these are classed as micropredators and they will go after small crustaceans, small insects, bugs, daphnia, that sort of thing. So if you are going to feed them, then make sure it is a protein-based diet. Now obviously a varied diet is always best, the same with any fish. Now a lot of people say they have trouble getting these to eat. Now if that is the case with you, then always try with any live food, so blackworms, daphnia, bloodworms, anything like that. And some will take frozen as well, so that's always a good alternative. But you can get them onto flake and pellets, and I don't think it's as difficult in all cases as it used to be. Now, I've put food in for these already, and they're already taking pellet food, which is great news, but they are a little bit more established, so that might be some sort of reason why as well. So these are generally considered peaceful fish, and they can live in community tanks. Just be mindful, they're quite small fish, so anything that can fit them in their mouths may eat them. But the biggest threat to these in here at the moment are the Harlequin Respora, just because they're the biggest fish. They're generally peaceful and they seem to leave them alone, which is great news. Now if you do want to keep them, you can keep them in species specific tanks, and that's probably more recommended, especially if you want to breed them. But they are generally peaceful to their own kind and to other fish, so as long as you buy appropriately sized tank mates, you should be fine. Now if you're looking for a fish to inhabit the top area of your tank, get a bit of action going at the top of the tank, then these are perfect because they generally inhabit the top area of the tank. Now you will see them swim throughout the tank from time to time, but the majority of the time they will be at the top end. And another important point really, as you can see, it got a lid on this tank. I think it's my only fish tank with a lid. And you will need one because, like a lot of killifish, they can jump. Now a lot of people say they don't jump as much as other killifish, but I would always err on the side of caution, hence only add them into this tank with a lid. Now if you do want to keep these, I would recommend keeping them in a planted tank or add some cover for them. Like you may have seen a couple of videos ago, I took all the floating plants out of this tank, but I did add some Amazon frogbit back in when we added the killifish because they will appreciate that cover, especially as they swim at the top end. There's that security for them as well. Now, as I said, you can keep in a community tank, but they're generally quite easy to care for, and you keep in a range of pHs anywhere from about 4 to about 7 pH. And I keep this tank around about 24 degrees or 23.5 degrees Celsius, and you can go anywhere from about 20 to 27 degrees with them. So they are quite forgiving to a certain extent. Now in this tank I keep them with, as I said earlier, Harlequin Respora. We got some Galaxy Raspora in here as well. There's an odd couple of fish from other projects. We've got some golden white cloud minnows in there, and we've also got an odd ember tetra, and we also got quite a lot of red cherry shrimp in there as well. So most of these fish are, well, all the fish are suitable and they seem to be getting along okay and are relatively peaceful fish. Now if you've enjoyed this sort of content today and you enjoy aquascaping, bioactive builds, reptiles, tropical fish, then we do all of that on this channel, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out any future videos. As always, if you want to show any sort of support towards the channel, obviously these things can be expensive, so any support is really, really appreciated. Definitely recommend go and check out my merch. Got a Scape t-shirt on Nature's Gallery today, all designed and sold by myself, and any of the proceeds I earn from that go straight back into this room, making animals' lives better and improving on the filming equipment as well, so hopefully improving things for you. As well, if I mention any products in today's video, I'll always leave the Amazon links down in the description as well. If there are Amazon links there, then I generally get a small commission for that. It doesn't cost you any more, but it does help support the channel, help us creating more builds like this. But there's plenty more exciting things to come, so make sure you don't miss out, and I'll catch you in the next video.